What's the vibes? What's the vibes? Top of the morning, top of the afternoon, top of the evening. Whenever this video may find you, I'm Dream. Follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy One, the number one. Sub to my YouTube channel, Blood Money Bets. Like the videos, share the videos, comment on the videos, and put your notifications on. Tell everybody you can about the channel. We just got over 450 subs, so appreciate y'all. We had like 453 now, something like that. So trying to get to 500. Appreciate y'all. Downplay was good. It's Wednesday, so I got my boy with me. I'll let him introduce himself and say what he got going on. What's popping, my guy?
What up, James? Always a pleasure and honor to be on the show. Chop it up with you about I think we're probably going to talk about the W today. W hasn't been kind to me lately, Dream. It feels like the spots that I'm most confident in, the ones that don't really go my way. So game one, I didn't really have a play. Game two, I jumped on the Liberty plus a 5.5, of course, and they got smoked in that game. And then game three, I just kind of set out as well. I know you were on the Liberty in that spot, and it was a Liberty spot. It was Liberty and nothing for me, especially them going back home to Barclay. So I probably should have been there, but didn't want to fear them getting swept and losing my money and ending the season like that. So, I kind of stayed off. But now we're looking at, a whole new series. Liberty done not tied it up, but they done, won the first game. And not just them winning the first game, but when you think about the injuries, which I know we're going to get into in just a second, just makes it a really difficult task for the Aces in this spot. So excited to talk about the game with you, my man, and break it down. Hopefully we can give out some winners.
Yeah, man. It's been a crazy series to say the least, man. It's been a crazy series. Really no recap for me. Didn't have a play yesterday. There really wasn't no games. Give out a couple blow money bets. Plus 250 hit. Let me see. Probably I don't know. Depending on what you put on blow money bets, like a tenth of a unit loss. With the blow money bets. But aside from that, there really wasn't on nothing. So yeah, let's talk WNBA. Downplay was popping. I think my boy Timeout got money on the Aces or something, or maybe that's his favorite team. I think Timeout took Aces futures. I don't know. But yeah, let's get into it, man. WNBA. The spread now, I believe, is at 5.5. And Chris, is the over under 168? I don't got it in front of me. Is it 168.5, 169.5? The total?
Last I saw was 169.5, but I give you the best number. Hold on one second.
Okay.
169.5. It is dropping to 168.5 on some books as well, though. So you can get in. You can get in either way. I know it opened at 171 is what I saw as soon as the game ended on Sunday.
Yeah, that was crazy too, and I'm not surprised it's getting bet down. But yeah, Liberty minus 5.5 at home, and obviously a must-win game. Yesterday during the show, shout out to everybody who was dropping the news, man. We found out Kia Stokes and Chelsea Gray was both out for game 4. Not too much of a surprise. So, the Liberty are really, really wounded right now. As wounded as a team could be, and they don't have much depth to begin with. So, it's going to be an uphill battle for them in game 4. We'll see what it is. But Chris, where are you looking? Game 4, if anywhere. How do you feel about game 4 in New York?
So man, it's crazy because I was actually chopping it up with one of my guys about this game right after the Sunday game, and I think just in the moment I was kind of almost in shock that the line dropped as the Aces. I'm sorry, the Liberty only laying a 1.5. This line was actually minus 1.5, and the Liberty on DraftKings were minus 130 on the money line, Jay. And I was I just finished watching the 1 o'clock NFL games on Sunday. I had to run to Walmart real quick, and I remember thinking to myself, like, bro, this should be a smash spot. I know we didn't have confirmation that Chelsea Gray was going to be out, but people saw the videos of her walking to the back on the crutches and leaving the building on the crutches and hopping back to the locker room. And for me, it's just her. Like her injuries suck, right? And it's a part of the game. I think back to Golden State versus Toronto a couple years ago when we just knew Golden State was going three-peat, right? Like we knew it, right? They had Steph, they had Clay, they still had Draymond, they had KD, and you just see them go down one by one. KD first, then Clay, of course, and Toronto ends up winning that series. Breaks up that dynasty, and I don't think that they're gonna necessarily break up this dynasty, but I do think that the Liberty just didn't really have it in game 1 and game 2. We probably see that kind of reverse itself. So I did a little digging because I don't want to just go off, the eye test, even though the eye test can be right majority of the times. I looked at the aces specifically with Chelsea Gray and without Chelsea Gray on the floor this season specifically. So in 40 games that they played throughout, because she played all the regular season games, their offensive rating was a 114.85 with her on the floor, and it dropped to a 112.19 with her off the floor. So that's 2.6 points there, right, of value. You look at their defensive rating, because she's also one of crazy as it is, because she bow-legged as I don't know what, she can still block up and kind of move her feet, Jane.
Yeah, defensive rating, you don't even look at her like that.
You don't, but the defensive rating with her on the floor is a 98.46. When she leaves, the defensive rating jumps to 101.38. So that's a minus 2.92. So you're looking at almost 3 points there. You're looking at about 2.5 points on the offensive end. So that says that she affects the game about 5. That you could potentially say it's about 5 points, and that's where I thought the line should be. We are seeing the line there now, and we're not even factoring in Kia Stokes. I didn't even look at Kia Stokes. But, that line is up to – it's 6.5 on Superbook right now as well. So I don't know if I'd, be taking it there. But it does feel like, Dream, that you just play the winner in these games. Like, if the team that's going to lose, they're not covering. Like we haven't gotten really a close game at all, like throughout the regular season as well. So to me, it just does feel like you kind of pick the winner. I think there is, maybe some from a psychological perspective, maybe – the Liberty don't come out with that killer mindset, because they know that, no matter what they say in the press about, we got to be locked in. Like, nah, the ace is going to be coming. And they, the quotes came out from Kelsey Plum yesterday. She still feel like they got more than enough. You know what I mean? Like, we've been in this situation before. We've been fined. We've been sued. We've been injured. We've been everything. And we persevered throughout the season. And this is a championship pedigree type team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they really bought it today and tried to end it tonight in New York versus, so they can get ready for the parade. But I took the Liberty minus 2.5. I still lean towards the under on the total, because I do feel like they will really struggle. I think Chelsea was averaging 13.5 points, 14.5 points, something like that, and like 7 assists in the playoffs. They're not going to be able to replace that, Jay. Like, they're not. So yeah, those are my thoughts, man. I don't want to talk too much.
Nah, I mean, yeah. Because all we really gonna do is talk WNBA today, man. But I'm with you. I had Tease on the show yesterday, and do me a favor, y'all. Kind of, going through some other stuff. I'll talk to y'all later about it. But I wasn't able to really promote this show like I should have. I didn't tell the timeline that Chris would be on the show. So do me a favor, my boy OG Wham already done hit the like for me. I seen it come up. Hit that like button for me. Spread the show so we can get this out there. And I'll retweet it and tag my boy in it and all that. But yeah, I was on the show yesterday with Tease, and we was talking about the same thing. I was telling him he really wasn't getting there. I think he there now. But even before you gave me that, it's nowhere now. That's when it first dropped, down play. And to be honest with you, you kind of should have been on it then. When it first dropped, it should have been on it then, because you already knew that, if you seen Chelsea hobble off like that, you should have known that either she wasn't going to play or she wasn't going to be 100%, and you still got the Liberty. So honestly, the only reason why I didn't take that is because I didn't want to double down on the Liberty, seeing as I gave out Liberty in 5. And if I believe that Chelsea Gray is hurt, which I did, I'm not going to just keep doubling down. But yeah, that 2 was out there. Chris ain't lying. That money line was out there. I think I saw open that 1. I seen it. I didn't see that 171, but I seen the Liberty line being low, and I was like, wow. Matter of fact, yesterday, it was 3.5 when I came on the show, y'all. It was 3.5 yesterday. So just imagine what it was on Monday or when it first dropped. So this is my thing about this game. Just be careful as this line gets going. Now, I'm with Chris that all these games have been blowouts, because that's the truth. The winners don't cover the spread. But what we always talk about is desperation, man. That is something that you cannot fake. You cannot fake desperation. And we saw it, man. I was telling my cousin and my best friend when we was watching game 3. The Liberty came out playing the best defense they did all year, and it wasn't because they were just moving. No, they was desperate. They was closing out everything. They was diving on floors, swatting at balls. They was playing like they life depended on it. Meanwhile, what the Aces do the first 3 minutes of the game? 2 on first turnover, stepping on the line, just dribbling the ball off. They like stuff like that. You cannot fake that. Tonight is very interesting to me because it makes me wonder what team is truly more desperate. We think the Liberty is more desperate, but you got a team that been sitting there listening for 3 days. First of all, they know 2 of their best players out. The reigning finals MVP is out. Their floor general is out. And they've been hearing for Monday, Tuesday, and today, oh, man, same thing we've been saying. Oh, without Chelsea, they're going to lose. Without I will not be surprised if you get like crazy effort, if you get the Aces' best shot in the first quarter or first half. I will not be surprised. So I'll be very careful as this line, because I told y'all yesterday, I think the line closes at 6.5, 7.5 if those 2 girls got ruled out. Well, if Chelsea got ruled out, I didn't even know Kia Stokes yesterday was even a possibility that she was hurt. Come to find out, she ruled out too. So yeah, I do think it closes around 6.5, 7.5. But just be very, very, very careful, man. Be very careful, okay? If you haven't gotten any action on the game, I would probably look toward Liberty first half. I would stay away from the first quarter, but I'll probably look toward the Liberty first half. Or if you had to play something, just try to lay the Liberty at the lowest number that you can get. But don't be surprised if this game is a little closer than expected for a little while, because if you think about it, now, and I know my boy talking about sports. He's salty right now. My boy clearly got some Aces money out there. But the thing about it, what I think people are forgetting, game 1 at halftime, I think the Liberty were winning. If not, game 1 at halftime, the Liberty were down a basket.
They were winning by 3.
Okay. So let's not just act like the Aces just been blowing the Liberty out, just smacking the shit out of the Liberty this whole time, and then an injury, and then nah. The Aces, they that first game, and then they got pulled away, and then the second game, they didn't show up. So I just will not be surprised. The Liberty better come out balling. If they don't come out balling, this could get away from them. So I'll give out what I gave out yesterday. I'm on one straight bet. And I'll give out my blunt money bets, and then I'll kick it back to Chris so he can give some more thoughts on it if he has any more thoughts. I gave out Jackie Young over 19.5 points yesterday. I was telling y'all 2 days ago, I thought the line would open Jackie 25 if Chelsea was out. I said I think not Jackie, Asia would be 25. I thought Kelsey would be 22 or 23, and I thought Jackie would be the same, 22, 23. Jackie opened at 19.5. I'm not sure if she's still at 19.5 or not. But yeah, last night I seen her at 19.5, minus 115 on DraftKings. I got her at minus 110. I love it. I think they all have a good chance of scoring 20. They're gonna have to. There's nobody else. I was telling Teach yesterday, Teach no more than me when it comes to WNBA. So maybe Clark is nice, maybe George is nice and all that. But to me, these Kelsey, Jackie, and Asia, they gonna have to shoot the ball. They gonna have to get them shots up. So Jackie done had 20 points, and I'm pretty sure 2 of the 3 games, So I love Jackie over 19.5 points. I did not play the 25 at plus 200, but I did put blunt money on her to score 30 at 660. Also put blunt money on Sabrina Ionescu, Queen Sabrina Ionescu. It's just ridiculous at this point. Got to do it. 20 points at plus 400 for Sabrina. Got to do it. Maybe she'll have a great game like she has every few games. Maybe she won't. But if y'all going to keep giving me Sabrina Ionescu, I'm not even playing the base, just playing her to go crazy, hit 5 or 6 threes. If y'all going to keep giving me Sabrina at 20 at plus 400, I'm going to take it, put blunt money on it every time, and 25 plus 1240. Oh, God, I just got to do it. So that's what I'm on there. I have 2 long shot lays, and I'm sure the prices have dramatically changed on this first one. I don't know about the second one. It shouldn't have really changed on the first one. It really shouldn't have. It shouldn't have dramatically changed, but we'll see. You guys put it in and let me know. 20 points and 5 assists for Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young. 20 points for Asia Wilson. The Liberty money line in the under 169.5. That's a plus 9,000. Like I said yesterday, I think that happens more than 90 times or whatever 9,000 says it's supposed to happen. More than 90 times, more than 900. I don't know. But if you play the game 90 times, I think that you're going to get 20 points and 5 assists from Jackie and Kelsey Plum and 20 points from Asia Wilson and a Liberty win in the under 169. So I love that at plus 9,000. I don't think it's no more than 6,000. I mean, when I made this, Chelsea Gray wasn't available for the SGP. So it's not like I don't see this, but I would play this to plus 5,000. Honestly, I play it. Yeah, I love this as much as you can love a plus 9,000 bet. And I made a dumbed down version with rebounds, 18 and 5, 18 points and 5 rebounds for Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young. Jackie Young getting rebounds is nothing. Kelsey Plum has had 5 rebounds in 2 of the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. Check that game log out. But 18 and 5 for Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum, and 18 and 10 for Asia Wilson. Put that with the Liberty in the under, and that's a plus 3,000. Those are the long shots. That's it. I will try to have something live for y'all, and I'm about to kick it to Chris, and he can give his opinion on any long shots he will look toward or any other looks he wants to have. But I will try to have something for y'all, but my FanDuel account been compromised, so I don't even know if I can get on FanDuel right now. I know I can't log in, but I don't even know if I can look on the site and give y'all out live player parlays and all that other stuff. So that might be all I have. But it's enough, I have 5 blunt money bets in a straight, so is what it is. Chris, how do you feel about that? If you had somewhere to look toward a long shot, if anywhere, do you have a look that you would give out?
I think I go back to what you said. I feel like it's got to be a Jackie spot, Dream. While you was talking, I was just looking up her PRA on Prize Picks, and it's 29.5. It feels like she has to go astronomically over that number, given the lack of offense that they're gonna have from from Jackie in this from Chelsea in this spot. So I would look at her, potentially laddering her points. I think it's a game where she might play the whole game. She played 38 minutes in the last game. I think she may play another 38 minutes. She also had
40.
She also had a bad game, 2 for 9 shooting, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, 8 points. So I expect some regression for her. Like you said, it does feel like while the Aces will be, they'll be in a position where they have to play well just because their backs are kind of against the wall, and you don't want to have to go home and, losing the championship on their home floor, Dream, would be absolutely crazy. And
to a team down 2 starters.
Right, to a team down 2 starters. And man, I can't imagine that. I thought, Dream, honestly, just taking it back just a tad bit, I thought that before the series, we both thought the Liberty had a chance to win this. Not that it would be easy, but we thought that they had a chance to win this. After the first 2 games, I knew it was over. Like, I thought the Liberty might get one, and but now everything is shifted, everything has changed, and the Liberty they're really live. I know it's the odds have changed now, but I caught them at plus 400 to win the series right after that game as well. And I think the best odds right now might still be like plus 250 for them to win. So really, you're just backing them to win, the last 2 games. Mm-hmm. But real quick, I want to address a couple things that was in the comment section. Who was that? Don playing. So I don't know if you can see that. So that says that was the line when it opened at 622 the other day. It was at 1.5 in the 171. This was right after game 3 ended. So that's when you got to jump on them lines. Another thing Don Player said in the chat, Aces first half plus 3. I think that could be the play, Dream. Like, not really wanting to get in front of the Liberty. Yeah, I couldn't talk them off that at all. I could definitely see that. And if that cashes, then maybe you take the Liberty live with a better number. Because to Barksdale's point, and going back to the chat again, he said the Aces could run out of gas by the 4th quarter. We just kind of alluded to, Dream, like Becky Hammond's going to have to play those starters, those 3 starters that she got left, big minutes. So I do think it's a spot where that could potentially happen. That also lends me to Jacquel. She gotta, if they win, James, she gotta be MVP. You just look at her numbers; they've been astronomical in this spot against the defensive player of the year. And granted, she's been getting guarded by Kia Stokes, but now that's another assignment because you can't put George on her. She gonna kill George. So now Asia is not only having to juggle the offense of being able to score more, but now she's also going to have to defend Jacquel. And I feel like Jacquel got the, like, she shot 10 for 15 in that last game and had 27 points and 8 rebounds. Her PRA feels like it, her points and rebounds feel like that's absolutely in play as well. And I'd be looking at Jacquel. I like Jacquel in this spot again, just because Asia gonna have her hands full. She's gonna have to balance, how does she defend, how does she score. So yeah, those are my thoughts, man.
Okay. Let me go to some of the comments I missed them. Yeah, top of the morning, Bitsy, top of the morning. Yeah, please hit that like button for me. Comment on the page. Comment on the video. Share the video and sub to the channel. I just gave out the 9,000 and 3,000 El Plaga. Tell me what you want though. You be having some good looks, but I gave those out and they basically just, like I said, 20 and 5 and 18 and 5 for the girls. Because I think that and somebody Rome said prize picks. I don't know if you follow me, but follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy1 Rome. But I will have a prize pick play out. I've had a crazy morning. I have not looked at prize picks, but I can definitely off the top of my head give y'all some leans. We always like to go the Liberty combined rebounds with the two girls, the two queens, Queen Jonquel and Queen Brianna Stu, who've been cashing us the hell out. Always go them combined rebounds. Love that. As far as assistant rebounds, Jackie Young, just like Chris spoke to, PRA. But I mean, Jackie Young assistant rebounds be crazy. Jackie is. Don't be surprised if she gets 7 or 8 rebounds tonight. Don't be surprised if she get 5 or 6 assists. I think Kelsey Plum assists, they gotta be played tonight. 4.5 assists for Kelsey Plum. I think she's gonna take over point guard duties or Jackie Young, but either way it goes, I love Kelsey Plum assists. Jonquel, points and rebounds if you don't want to do the combined. And you probably got to go combine points with any of the two Aces girls that you want to put together. Combine points, man, just to be safe. I'd probably go Jackie and Kelsey just because Queen Asia has historically struggled against this Aces team. But my God, if you give me 30 shots tonight with Asia, she might go for 50, even with 3 people on her. So, I mean, we might see Kobe Asia tonight. So, couldn't talk you on or off. But those are a couple prize pick looks. I like to play like 3 points attempted, free throws attempted, stuff like that. I would definitely look toward Asia free throws attempted because I think she's going to be forcing it. And I would kind of stay off of the Liberty aggressive stuff. So I would stay off of their turnover overs and I would stay off of their free throws. Not that they're not going to be as aggressive, but I just think it's going to be more of an all around. Like I said, and we were talking about this yesterday, it's going to be like 5 versus 3 almost out there. Yeah, I think they're going to be very cognizant of that, and they're going to be moving the ball around. I think you're going to see less hero ball. I think you're going to see more hero ball, dribble, drive, shot off a pick and roll, stuff like that from the Aces. And I agree with you, my boy Barksdale. The Aces coming out of gas because they playing all these minutes, and they're going to keep playing them. That lay that Bitsy cooked up went down to 575. Okay, so hopefully that other joint didn't go down too much. Aces first half here, talked about that. Price pit. Good morning, Mamu Bets. Great vibes. Yeah, let's cash. Interesting game tonight for sure. Yeah, I'm sick, man. I'm under the weather. I'm not sick, but I'm under the weather. I got a little cold. I didn't even really get a chance to smoke like that. I've been running around all morning. But I did hit a blunt. Jackie and Asia points wise, Kelsey line inflated. Giving 18 to her while she got to run. Honestly, I don't think none of the lines inflated. I think they all right where they should be, except for Jackie's, just to be honest with you. Asia, I don't know if it should be at 25, but I mean, where you going to put the best player in the game at? You got to put it at 25, knowing she's going to get increased shots.
She at 23.5 minus 120 on DK right now.
To me, that's honestly, as much as I've been on I would play Asia under, but I'm not going to fade the best player in the game. I'd actually go over that 23.5.
Absolutely.
I thought it opened at 24 and 25.5. Kelsey, to me, is right where she should be at 23.5. I just don't understand why they fronting on Jackie Young like she's not Jackie Young. Like, she should be up there with them, too. She should be in the 20s, and that's why I played her, to be honest. For real. Play some Jonquel Jones MVP at plus 1,000. Implies she's only, my God, yes. Aaron, of course. Somebody
told me that too. Yeah, that's crazy.
Aaron Wojciechowski, Shams Campbell in the building. He broke that news yesterday, had us shocked. Like, wait, Kia Stokes too? He was like, yeah, man, they both got ruled out. I'm like, ooh, El Plaga, really? You always do this shit, bro. All right, Aces in the over for El Plaga. El Plaga ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna play with nobody on. Hey, sometimes I should be working for you, my guy. I'm sure it'd be working for you. So yeah, man. Just to close that up, and we'll talk a little, NBA, a little NFL. Chris want to get into that, but yeah, y'all could get in the comments. But just to wrap this up, man, I'm on Jackie Young points over. That's all I could look. I mean, that's only all my money on my only straight bet and the ladders and stuff. But I can only look Liberty and under. But I will not be surprised if the Aces come out in that first quarter like a wounded animal with their back against the wall. And we're gonna really see what Becky Hammond got, what she made of. We're gonna see what she made of tonight. Chris, any closing thoughts before we get to the just chopping up about the NBA for a hot second?
Nah, that's it, man. Like I said, I'll if you want to play it live, Aces come out, maybe rattle the Liberty a little early, but the Liberty should win the game. So, maybe you take it live. I couldn't talk anybody off that. I also think that the Liberty Aces offense is not as good on the road. We saw that in the last game. Even Aces struggled. I think she was like 4 for 15 in that game. So you expect a bounce back performance from her. But yeah, good luck trying to make up for Kia Stokes on the defensive end and Chelsea Gray on both the offensive and defensive end, like we talked about. Dream gave out those numbers, earlier in the show.
Yep. Y'all can always run it back. Gonna be a short show, so y'all can always run it back, and I will put the timestamps in. I promise today. And just like my boy Aaron Shams Wojciechowski said, that is a great look. I mean, that is a great look. I mean, we was on the show last week. I feel like they asked us who we will go MVP, and we said Chelsea, Asia, or Jonquel. Just if somehow they come back. I mean, you might have been able to get Jonquel at plus 10,000. Is that okay?
That's plus 1,000. Mm-hmm. She clearly been the best player.
Week,
yeah, she clearly been the best player on the floor for this team.
Yeah,
Stewie, Sabrina, yes. Stewie and Brianna didn't even show up. They could have stayed in New York for the first 2 games.
No, for real. I don't care what happens in the last 2 games. If the Ace Liberty win, they better not give that shit to nobody but Jonquel. I don't care what happened the last 2 games. Because they ass would have been swept without Jonquel. That's a fact. So yeah, Jonquel at plus 1,000, that's stealing money right there. That I'm about to call somebody that's and put that in for me because we can't do that in New York. We can't bet MVPs. That's stealing money right there. That's better than the plus 700. Oh my God, that is amazing. Wait, was that before? Oh no, it's not. That wasn't before the news. He just took it. Okay, love that. All right, man. NBA. Shout out to Chris with some amazing looks lately in the NBA. I tell the Suns, that first quarter, first half look, that was incredible. Last night I tell the Clippers look. So if y'all not paying for that membership on YouTube for Chris, you definitely should. It's worth the money. I already made my money back easily. Pay for the yearly membership with that damn Phoenix line. Because I have not been tapping into the goddamn preseason at all. I told you I'm gonna tap in a little bit, but not too much. So I looked, I seen he gave it out. I did like 15 minutes of capping. I'm like, oh shit, okay, yeah, let's do it. I was a little scared because of 8 in. I'm like, maybe 8 gonna try and come out and be a try hard. A little scared because of Scoop. Like maybe Scoop going, but I was like, nah. And then last night, oh, I'm so happy I just kept it easy last night. I was about to put 2 units on them plays because I did the same thing. I seen them gave out the play, did a little capping. It was like, what? The starters not playing? Oh man, generational spot. I'm happy I just took it easy and we ended up splitting there. So shout out to Chris, man. Also, before I kick it to him, just for him to talk about anything that he wants to talk about, I seen he got the spaces, so we are trying to pull up for the spaces at 3:45 today. We giving out info on some team previews. But yeah, I told y'all my favorite future was Wemby to lead the league in blocks. That's down to like plus 800, plus 700 now. It's plus 1,300 when we gave it out before. So I'd still hop on it, but I won't be surprised if it's under 500 by the beginning of the season. But Chris, man, aside from the preseason or any thoughts? What are your thoughts so far on the preseason, and what are your thoughts with the season less than a week away? I feel like it's less than a week away at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. So as far as the NBA, I really haven't been. I've been tapped in and trying to watch it, but capping it, man, it's difficult to bet the preseason, which is why I haven't really given out a lot of plays. The only other ones I didn't have a chance to give out because I capped it literally with 4 minutes before the game started. After eating dinner last night was the Celtics. It was a very similar scenario with Boston yesterday, and I ended up playing them first quarter, first half, and that cash as well. And it's really you got to have information, right? The more information you have, the better you can make the bets. You know who on the team, but it's all about who the coach is going to play and who's not going to play, who's going to be sitting. So should have been a smash spot for the Clippers. They looked sleepy last night. The easiest way to describe it, Kawhi looked like a shell of itself. They just weren't playing defense, just not communicating. They looked like they had never played the game before. And when I say they, I mean Westbrook, Kawhi, PG. Thank God for Zubac. And thank God for PG. He was actually making some shots that ended up cashing the first half. But that Denver team had no starters on it last night. And I'm like, the Clippers, that's what y'all do with my money? So I might be looking to fade them at the beginning of the season, Dream. Not because they blew the first quarter, but because they just didn't look that good to me. Like I'm interested to see. Maybe I don't fade it. Maybe I just kind of stay off. But the Clippers have historically been, at least the last couple of years, they've historically been one of those teams that really start off the first half bad. They don't play good in the first half for some reason. I got the numbers, like I can pull them up real quick, but I know for a fact that the Clippers are one of the worst. Over the last couple seasons, they've been one of the worst first half teams. Matter of fact, let's see. The Clippers finished 32-49-1 last season in the first half. The second worst team in the first half, behind only the Charlotte Hornets. And then they end up coming back and barely squeezing out a win. So to me, it just seemed like floor spacing might have been off. They don't have the most shooting out there. It looked like Nicholas Batum was out there in that starting lineup with Zubac at the 5 yesterday. Of course, Westbrook is a little on and off with his shooting as well. So yeah, that I just wanted to kind of get that out. But yeah, as far as everything else, man, I'm not betting these games until I have the information for people who are looking to take some of these bets in the preseason. You really just gotta stalk these beat reporters. That's the best thing that you can absolutely do to get that information to see who's going to be playing. Because some of these coaches don't care at all. Like all of the players for Denver was sitting on the front row last night, chilling. Aaron Gordon had his big chain on, So yeah, I'll say that. As far as a little bit of a preview for today, yesterday I actually talked about a team that I'm kind of high on, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this, Dream, and a team that I'm not that high on. So I actually like the Pacers this year. Projected win total at 38.5. Last year they won 35 games. Of course, you think about the moves they made, signing Bruce Brown. You get rid of Chris Duarte, and Halliburton made his ascension to be one of the best point guards, and they paid him like one in the offseason as well. You get a developmental year for Ben Mathurin in the offseason, which he was hooping in the offseason as well. And you re-sign Miles Turner, and you also bring in Obi Toppin. So I like that team, Dream. I think the way that I'm gonna try to make some money on the Pacers this year will be playing them in the first half, in the first quarter, taking the over, either for the full game or just their team total over. Because Halliburton, I don't think that the market gonna be quite adjusted early in the season to how many points they're able to score. This team scored 90 points 2 nights ago with Halliburton in the lineup in the first 3 quarters. And then, of course, he didn't play in the third quarter. So, it's things like that that make me want to play, jump on.
Well, he didn't play the fourth quarter, you mean?
He didn't play the fourth quarter. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he didn't play the fourth quarter. He scored 90 points through 3 quarters. Didn't play the fourth quarter. I think they had 75 at halftime. So it's things like that that make me want to, they want to play fast, right? It's all about possessions. That's why we play overs. We play unders because teams lack possessions because they're really good defensively. And just a quick nugget on that as well. Miles Turner is somebody that can be injury prone. If he doesn't play, you take the over. They don't have anybody that's going to be even close to being a rim protector if he's not going to play. And they play with much faster pace as well. If he's in, then you might want to be a little hesitant on that. And then, Dream, real quick, the other team I'm a little low on, the Dallas Mavericks, man. I don't know how you feel about them, but this is not a team that, played really well, just 5-11 last year after Kyrie came over in the Luka trade. And I don't really feel like they made a couple moves like Grant Williams, like, signing him. Rashad Holmes got kicked out of that rotation in Sacramento last year. And then you draft, Lively, Prosper. But those guys to me seem really raw, right? Like, do I think they'll have good careers? I do. But they seem so unpolished that it feels like they're just only going to be catching oops that come from Luka for the most part. So I'm not as high on them because I think that they're going to struggle defensively. I also don't like that they had to play 3 games abroad before they came the regular season actually starts. They're the first team in NBA history that's actually had to play 3 games because they had the 2 in Abu Dhabi against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they played Real Madrid. In the game for Luka, primarily just for Luka, even though he didn't play in that game, which leads me to my next point. So I think we see them fatigued at the beginning of the season because of that travel. And they also limping into the season. Kyrie he didn't play any 2 of those Abu Dhabi games, 2 of those abroad games. And Luka only played 5 minutes because he had an injury as well. So your best 2 players being hurt, you're not a good defensive team. I think I'm going to fade them at the beginning of the season, Dream. They actually opened the season in an ESPN game in San Antonio against the Victor Wembanyama-led and Devin Vassell-led San Antonio Spurs. So, I think that'll be a spot that I'm, kind of looking to fade them in. Also, out of their first, I want to say 10 games, they don't have 2 consistent games in the back-to-back gyms, and that's another spot where I like to kind of fade teams as well. Wow. It's home road, home road, home road, home road. So I don't like that for them either, and I'm not really high on the Dallas Mavericks. Their odds to win the title, Dream, is plus 2,500. Their odds to make the playoffs is minus 165. To win that division in the Southwest is plus 200. And I actually like the Minnesota Timberwolves to do better than them this season. If I'm just comparing the 2, I think Minnesota does better. Minnesota odds to win the title plus 8,000, and I can get Dallas at plus 2,500. I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, those are my thoughts on just kind of looking ahead to to the teams this season. Today I'll be breaking down I'll be talking about the Washington Wizards, the pool party coming to DC, and we'll talk a little bit about
my guy. Who's my guy?
Tyus Jones, yeah, absolutely. And the Utah Jazz out west, Jim. I'll break those 2 teams down. So everybody that's listening, feel free to jump in. 345, give me your thoughts, or just listen to my analysis of those teams as well. And shout out to my guy UCapper. I see you in the building.
Yeah, man. Shout out to UCapper. You want to answer his question, and I'll. He said thoughts on.
Yeah, he said thoughts on Harden not being a no-show on no-show since Sunday. He may not play for the Sixers to start the season. I think that's realistic. I was reading something this morning from the Athletic that said that those trade talks are they're still brewing between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Clippers. So maybe he knows something that we don't know, or his agent knows something that we don't know. But I mean, clearly he doesn't want to be there. He's come flat out and said that he feels like the relationship is a relationship that can't be repaired at this point. So I do think that they probably don't see Harden suit up. He already skipped practice. He's not at practice today, and I saw a report that he was. I don't know how true it is, but I saw a report that he was in Houston. So he in Houston right now.
It's true. It don't need to be verified.
Right. So yeah, the thing about that, James, is that it's weird for a superstar team, and you think about the impact. Harden led the NBA in assists last year, while he struggled defensively in his last 2 games of the season. Game 6 and Game 7 against Boston, he was terrible, which probably the reason why they didn't want to bring him back and extend him, on the contract. But the thing that's interesting and a tad bit different about Philly is that Philly's been through this before, as far as a key contributor, like a superstar talent not playing. So for me, that's just more, it's more minutes for more usage for Maxey, right? Who's going to be the lead guard for this team when Harden is shipped out. And then I think about a guy like Kelly Oubre, who loves to go in there and light it up, Jamie. He's actually been very impressive in their preseason. So I think that's just a play on. If James Harden doesn't play in those games, I will be taking a low line to start the season for Kelly Oubre if I can find this points prop. And the usage is going to be extremely high. When Ben Simmons wasn't playing 2 years ago, I don't know if people remember this, but Maxey assists used to be set at 3.5, and we crushed it until they moved it to 4.5, and we crushed it until they moved to 5.5. So those are, just some key nuggets that people might want to jot down. Kelly Oubre points, looking at Maxey, he's going to be the primary, ball handler and have the highest usage rate, if Harden doesn't, show up.
Oh, man, so much. I mean, Jesus, we could talk basketball 2 hours. I wish I had time today. So just to respond to everything you're saying, first of all, if you're watching this, do me a favor, sub to my channel, like this video, even if you watch this later in the day, like the video, comment, let me know if y'all got questions, let me know what y'all on tonight, how y'all feeling about the season, and if you haven't, follow me on Twitter, all right? So just to respond to everything Chris said, and I guess I'll go in reverse. First of all, 2 lines that I'm looking at. Jalen sucks. Blocks and steals. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be the starter. I don't know if he's getting more time because they're trying to phase Cole Anthony up out of there. But Jalen sucks. I cannot wait to play his blocks and steals. Also, I wonder how you feel about Ben Simmons, but we'll come back to that because Ben Simmons, because you just said that you gave a number without Ben Simmons. You was talking about Uber without Ben Simmons, so that popped in my head. Been doing fadeaways in the preseason. Now, it's a little different than offseason where he's hooping in the gym, shooting threes. He's actually doing this on NBA floors. It's preseason, but I'm just wondering. A guy that I'm looking at for Philly, Melton. I am very interested to see his role as far as threes and assistant. Like maybe Maxey will take more of a facilitating role, but I'm very interested to see Melton and Shake Milton, but more Melton. Harden. I don't know about Harden. We'll see, man. Hopefully they do trade him. I know one thing, though. If he does play, he's going to go crazy this year, in my opinion. Why? Because he's trying to get that contract. He's playing for another contract, which his dumbass already declined. He already declined a nice extension, but he's trying to get like a max extension or whatever. So I do think if something happens and Morey does him dirty and he makes him play, I think you do get a Harden that fucks you over every now and again. Oh, it's a big game tonight. Oh, my hamstring. Oh, my back. But I think his numbers when he plays are going to be amazing because he's going to want to show everybody he still got it. To me, that's the only reason why he led the league in assists last year, because he was trying to get a new contract. He could have been, passive Harden, taking bad shots Harden. He could have been a lot of things, but he'll always be able to pass the ball. He'll always be a good floor general. So I think that if he does play for Philly, he's going to go crazy. I don't know what he's going to do when he goes to his new team. I wouldn't play him then. But if he plays for Philly this year, I'll be looking to play Harden assists because I think he's going to have a similar season to last year if he plays. Wizards and Jazz, who you're going to be breaking down. I can't believe the Jazz are underdogs of 1 or they favored by 1. Game 1. I forgot who they played, but I looked game 1. I looked and it popped out to me. I'm like, I know they home, but should they be favored or only at 1 point? I forget who it was, but that stuck out to me. I don't know who it was.
Sacramento.
Yeah, I know Sacramento struggle on the road, but this is a team that got a lot to prove. Year 2. I mean, that just seems a short line to me. Game 1, I think Sacramento gonna want to start their season off right after last year. When I was looking ahead, because I seen 14 games, I almost lost my damn mind. I'm like, I'm about to start capping these shits now. I got props. I can't wait to play all that. So that stuck out to me. Speaking of the Jazz, I think they lose their first game of the season. We'll see. Wizards. Oh man, speaking of the Wizards, I just love my guy Tyus Jones. I get that out yesterday. 8 assists for him to average 8 assists. That's what I use my 30% boost on the Ringer. Boost on FanDuel. It's like a 250 or a 270 with the 30% boost. Him to average 8 assists. I love that. I got him at averaging 9 assists at plus 500. I like that. And I got him to lead the league in assists at plus 3,000. That's still available at plus 3,000. Okay. And just to kind of piggyback off of what he was saying as far as being low on the Mavs, I agree with you. I'm low on the Mavs. Tim Hardaway says something that really stuck out to me yesterday. He's like, yeah, I haven't really talked to Jason Kidd in the offseason like that. But, I'm assuming that I'll be a starter or I'll be in the same role as last year. So he don't even know his role. The game starts next week. He don't even know if he's starting and coming off the bench. Y'all team ain't that good for you not to be knowing. I could see if this was a team that was like stacked or something where it was like position battles, or even a team like Detroit where you fight and you got 3 centers with Duran. I'm happy he won that. But you got Wiseman, Duran, and you got the other boy too, the old guy Bagley. I can see if it was like that, but who's he fighting? Josh Green? Like, damn, is he either going to start or is he not going to start? So, yeah, that kind of threw me off. I love Kyrie, but Kyrie ain't been good for teams lately, so we'll see. Kyrie and Luka, they ain't playing no defense, so I got to be down on the Mavs. I just have to be. Also, Luka done played off season for the Olympics, so I don't like that. And to your point of them being gone out the country for those 3 games, if it was a team like Sacramento or Indy or even a young team like Detroit that played 3 straight games overseas, then I would be like, okay, that could be like team building. Okay, maybe they could have something to build on going into the regular season. But this is a veteran team for the most part. They players ain't even playing some of these games. You got Kyrie injured, banged up. To me, the vibes was just like, all right, we about to get over this shit and just get back home and start the season. So to me, that it could be good or bad playing those games, but I just think it's bad for the Mavs. I would agree with you there. And finally, with the Pacers, yeah, I like Hallie. We'll see. He pisses me off. It's hard for me to cap Hallie because, like, every time I capped Hallie last year and played his ladders for, like, big spots. So, like, when his big spot came against Sacramento, didn't do shit in Sacramento. When he played against Sacramento in Indy, didn't do shit. Like, what the fuck, bro? You were so heartbroken. You supposed to be the best point guard, all this shit, didn't do shit. Then went against New York in the Wally Zerbiak, because I'm a narrative guy. That's why I'm 2-0 plus 17 units lifetime in baseball for 2023. I only gave out 2 plays. Bryce Harper birthday, baby. My favorite plays. They both hit. And I'm done with baseball. Just like that. You dig? You know what I'm saying? But I'm a narrative guy. So to fuck me over on 3 narratives, he did it with the play. Then Wally Zerbiak called him out. He go back, play the Knicks, was ass that game too. Like, come on, bro. So it's tough with me with Hallie. I know Hallie nice, but it's tough for me. I know he's nice, but I'm not a Hallie guy. But I think he is going to elevate the Pacers. Won't be surprised if they make the playoffs. And they first quarter and first half plays, I feel like that they were first half and first quarter over team last year. I feel like you was talking about that a lot on the spaces last year, playing their first half or first quarter opponent team total. Maybe that's what it was. I know one thing, they was giving up the booty in the first quarter, first half last year. So I would definitely be with you as far as looking to play they team total or just their overs in general. You can't said the donut line with Nick Nurse's Harden donut line. Okay. I think they'll do better without him, but I do think Harden still has a lot to offer on them. That's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, that dribble. And I guess Nick Nurse doesn't want to just play that high pick and roll, dribble. So that does make sense. He needs to get the hell up out of there. Kyrie was amazing last year. He and Luka need defenders. Was he amazing? I think he was good. But Kyrie is my guy, so there will be no Kyrie slander. But I don't know if he was man. Grant Williams should be a good for Dallas 3-and-D guy. Yeah, he should be good for Dallas, but it's gonna be like, to me, it just strikes me, and Chris, you could close with your thoughts on this. With Dallas, my only problem is, like, if Luka or Kyrie have an off game, I don't know where the scoring is gonna come from. Because the way they team looking like it's going, maybe you get a good shooting game from Tim Hardaway Jr., but aside from that, and Josh Hardy, maybe he'll progress and he'll get better. But to me, it's, you still got Powell, Bertans. You just got too many guys that I don't have faith in, and you're just too top heavy with the scoring. So, and then you add on the fact that both of those guys are defensive liabilities. I don't like Dallas at all. And I'm not really a big Jason Kidd fan as a coach. I hope he always has a job. But, I don't know. Well, that is great. But, Chris, how do you feel about obviously you said how you feel about Dallas. But how do you feel about maybe, like, where do you see them possibly struggling more defensively or offensively? Because, like I said, they good on offense. They got 2 of the best scorers ever or in the league. But if one struggle, who else is going to step up? So how do you feel about that?
I think it'll still be a defensive struggle, Gene. I think so. You mentioned Tim Hardaway Jr. We know what he's capable of doing. Hardy as well, what he's capable of doing. But you also got to remember Steph Curry is there as well. Another shooter for them. But the key for me is their best 4 offensive players. Tim Hardaway Jr. Well, I'm not putting them in order, but Tim Hardaway Jr., Steph Curry, Luka, and Kyrie. None of them play defense. They can't guard anybody. And if you want to score, you're going to need some kind of combination of that lineup being out there. Grant Williams, you put him in at power forward. I understand. I think he's a pretty, upper echelon defender. He's not guarding the big guys in the league, though, Dream. He's not guarding AD. He's not guarding Jokic. You know what I mean? Like, best of luck to you. You chop liver. Like, he fried rice when he got to play against the better teams and the better big guys in the league. He's not guarding KD. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what I mean. You're going to have to – so then you're sacrificing your offense because you're going to want to play somebody like Lively, and that's really it. And that's the point for me. Like, Maxi Kleber, he's undersized big man as well, but I like Maxi Kleber. I don't think that's going to be enough, though. I think Grant Williams is a good, defender when he's guarding the three, when he's guarding some of the smaller non-physical fours. But when you talk about the Anthony Davis of the world, he might struggle with Aiden. You know what I mean? When you talk about those guys, I think he's still going to struggle.
Yeah, and that's a good point with Kyrie with the points scoring. But two things with that. He did average 27 and all those 27 points. That's what Kyrie does. But unfortunately, Kyrie hasn't finished the season. Kyrie may have, in the last 5 seasons, Kyrie might have played more than 50 or let's just say 60 games once. Kyrie is generally not healthy toward the end of the season. So that's one thing. So it's not like that 27 a game. That's not like for lack of a better term, like a Jokic 27. It's not like a Jimmy Butler, somebody that you think is going to be there. Like, the problem with Kyrie has never been skill. The problem with Kyrie is reliability. And that goes to your next point. Derek Lively, that rookie, he not defending shit. He might block a couple shots, but he's fucking barbecue chicken. The boy is 18, 19 years old. His body's not developed. His ass is going to get put in the fucking basket. So he's not defending nothing. Grant Williams, all right, good job. Hopefully he can hit a couple shots. But like Chris said, he's going to be a defender of certain guys, certain fours. And I think that he can. Like, I think he'll do good if he plays against Tatum. Maybe he'll try to defend KD. Maybe. And I like Grant. But my thing is this. Why is Kyrie going to be locked in? Why is Kyrie going to be locked in? Kyrie, now, I love Kyrie mostly for his off the court stuff. You know what I'm saying? He does fuck up saying dumb shit sometimes, but I like Kyrie. But why would he be locked in? He got what he wanted. He got his contract. He got his max deal. I've never seen Kyrie, even in the NBA Finals, when he averaged 30, he wasn't locked in defensively. I seen Kyrie best defense. Me personally in Boston, I seen that, and that could have been a part of a system. So I don't know why he would be locked in. We know Luka. I don't give a damn what. Luka not gonna play no D. To me, the team is just too specialized. So it's like, you two shoot, y'all three defend. And like, you can't do that in the NBA to me. Like, you gotta have guys that blend. You gotta have, because let's say Luka not gonna really have a lot of off games, but let's just say Kyrie have an off game. You gotta have somebody else that you could be like, all right, you step up and score 17. And I don't trust nobody, not even Tim Hardaway Jr., to step up and score 17. I don't like that team. I will say this. They made lemonade out of lemons, because it was a point where that was looking like they was going to lose Luka if they couldn't do nothing. So they did sign Kyrie. They did bring in Grant Williams. And they did draft a big, which they need a big. But hopefully that'll keep Luka, because I don't want to see him leave Dallas. But I just don't know. I can't see Dallas being nothing but last year. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Kyrie definitely played defense in the finals. We did, bro. We definitely watched 2 different finals, because a lot of that is, it's tough. Like, I don't want to give up. I don't want to talk about like points per game, and I don't want to say they were targeting him just because like Kevin Love was the one getting targeted, and Kevin Love, everybody played well. It was the finals. What I'm saying is this. Kyrie's not gonna lock nobody up. Like, I don't see Kyrie being locked in defensively. When I hear that, I think like locking somebody up. Kyrie not locking shit. Will he not be a liability if he's locked in? Congratulations, you're not a liability. Thank you. Like Russell Westbrook. Russ is one of my favorite guys. Have I seen Russ locked in last year? Like, I've never seen Kyrie do what Russ did last year against Kevin Durant. Like, Russ literally was getting 2 blocks and 2 steals a game. He was guarding the best player. It was, as a Laker fan, I'm like, nigga, if you would have just did this for my team, you probably would have never got traded. Come on, baby. That was locked in, Russ. And even with that being said, he was still a defensive liability at times when he was locked in. Because it's like sometimes you just don't pay attention. And I think that's the same thing with Kyrie, man. I think that's the same thing with Kyrie. Yeah. Okay. Locking up. Thank you. So that's what I mean. You just being a defense, not being a defensive liability, that's not going to be enough. You still going to get 23 dropped in your head. You just won't give up 30 because you're not a liability. But you're not a good defender. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka. But Luka is a liability in my opinion. So I want to let my guy Chris get the last word, just to wrap this up. We get out of here. It was a good basketball only show. But I'll let Chris get the last word. If he has any NFL plays for tomorrow, I will be gone for a week. But I will try to pop up and do shows here and there. But I'll be gone for a week out of town. So, Chris, let you get the last word. Do you have any NFL looks? But if not, you can let the people know where to find you, about the spaces and all that.
Yeah, James. So Thursday night football tomorrow. As far as Thursday night football go, I guess the line is trending towards Trevor Lawrence actually playing because I think when I looked at it earlier in the week, they were a 3-point dog in New Orleans, and now that line's come down to 1.5 in some books. I think down to 1 at some books as well. So I definitely feel like Jacksonville is a better team. As far as numbers. Jacksonville has a very stout rush defense. And I know people don't like taking unders, but I like taking what's going to win me the money. And I've been cashing on unders. I don't think Jacksonville's giving up two running backs going over 50-plus yards this season. His prop is low for a reason. Alvin Kamara is who I'm looking at. He's had since he's come back from the suspension, he's actually done really, really well. I think all 3 games he's actually going over this number. And so you see a low number, especially with them being at home. I still think you fade it and take the under. I know he's going to get the carries, but I don't think that he rushes for 53 yards. You can get a 52.5 at BetMGM. So that's probably going to be my best look of the week and probably the one I end up taking. A lot of the times, these running backs, they end up in a situation where they end up splitting carries or the rushing that you play against Jacksonville. The other opposing team will just abandon the rush completely. And I think we could see that in this game here. So, probably maybe a bigger day for Derek Carr passing attempts to go over because it correlates with Alvin Kamara to go under his rushing yards. So that's the way I'll be looking for this game, Jim.
All right. I don't have any looks yet. Any football looks. I'm ready for WNBA tonight. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for this game. Like I said, we done gave out the Liberty plus 700 for y'all, and like I said, full disclosure, I gave that out, and I didn't end up taking it because I forgot. I had took both of them to go in 5. I had took the Liberty in 5 and the Aces in 5, and I had forgot to give that out. So when I went and looked, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not about to double down and take the Liberty in 5. They win it, even though the 700 is a better number than I got, but still. So if y'all took it, it's looking good. Chelsea Gray out. With Chelsea Gray out, my money is burning as we speak. I can't believe it. Hey, Cole, go ahead and put a little bit on the Liberty, man. Go ahead and put a little bit on the Liberty. No, Cole, get the money back. This how you do that. John Quayle MVP. If you're not in the state that you can get that, find somebody who is, and cash app them or something. But that's how you do that, man. That's what I would do. If I'm sitting here with Aces futures, and a pretty penny on them, get John Quayle Jones MVP plus 1,000 or at the best price. I'd play that shit to 750. I don't see how anybody else could get it if they win. I just don't see it. Even if Breonna Stewart goes 30 and 30, John Quayle going to do something in those games. So, yeah, man. So that is it, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I got to handle some live business. I'm going to be for my birthday. My birthday is Sunday. So I'm going to be in Costa Rica. So I will try and do some sort of show. I'm sure the Wi-Fi is going to be straight down here. It's like the most Americanized Latin American country. So it's going to be a bunch of gringos down there, as they call us. Even the black people, they call us gringos too. So it's going to be a lot of Americans down there. So the Wi-Fi should be up. I should be able to do a show or two. But I've been locked out of my FanDuel account. Somebody tried to hack my shit. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the boost and all those plays that I normally have. Hopefully, I get my account back soon. And if so, I have it for y'all. But either way it goes, DraftKings still up. So next week in the NBA is fucking lit. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Y'all know the vibes. Let's get this cash. As always, appreciate my guest, Chris, coming through. And man, we gotta have it. So let's get it.